You're the defenders of the fans. Now, here's your host and moderator, Kevin Warren.
What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Yo, what's going on? It's the Sports Chasers podcast, man, coming to you live and direct, man. Hey, man, we got a lot to get into. We got the NBA tonight. We got Major League Baseball. Hey, also the Super Bowl preview we got going on tonight, man. We got a lot to dive in. Hey, let me go from my left to my right, introduce those that are on tonight. We got my man, the angry one, James. What's up, brother? What's going on?
What's good? What's good? Good evening, moderator. Good evening, Sports Chasers family. How y'all living, man? We got a lot to talk about. Yeah. Let's get it, man.
Man, we're about to get into it right now. DA, what's up? DA is here with us tonight.
Peace. What's good?
No doubt. Without D-Del be proud of me. I got my notes in front of me. Got my paper notes. Hey, like we said, we're gonna get into it right away. The NBA. Before we start with some of the big trades, we're gonna start.
Kev. Hold on. I gotta interrupt.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna play moderator real quick, right? Kev, our moderator got a whole lot of notes. We're gonna let him dive in a little bit more than we usually would. You know what I'm saying? So before we get into all these trades and all this other stuff, right? There's a lot going on with that that team out there in LA, not the Clippers, not the Warriors, not the Kings. That other team, right?
You mean the team in California? Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I'm gonna just flat out ask y'all, man. We're gonna jump right into it, man. The LA Lakers, led by LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook. In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, okay, suffered the worst loss I have seen in quite a long time for that franchise. And no, I'm not a Laker fan, but I do keep up with some things, okay? Y'all lost to the Portland, no disrespect, the Portland Ale Breakers that has no Dame Lillard, no CJ McCollum because he was traded. No, I think Nurkic was the best guy on the floor for them. And they beat the Lakers. They beat the Lakers with two of their top three. You can't blame Westbrook this time. Westbrook was in street clothes, okay? He was auditioning. So, okay, you want to say LeBron did his part, he had 30, blah, blah, blah. Look, man, you have two of the top players in the league. They are what you people have said is that they make everyone on the floor, everyone on the team better. When is that going to happen? Kevin L., I will lead off with you, sir. What are your thoughts on the LA Lakers and that whole circus out there?
Man, let me tell you something, man. Woke up in the middle of the night and just happened to look at my phone, and police reported that the Lakers lost again. And can't blame Russell Westbrook. And they're absolutely right. There was a meme I think I sent to you guys earlier. Let me look at my phone. Let me be correct. I thought it was funny because it made a lot of sense. Let me go back here. And it said, it was a Twitter from LeBron James back here early in the season. It said, keep talking about my squad, our personnel ages, the way he plays. He stays injured. We're past our time in the league, et cetera, et cetera. Do me one favor, please. And I mean, please keep that same energy when it begins. That's all I ask. Thank you.
And let me cut in right there. Oh, okay. We keeping that same energy tonight, baby. Go ahead, Kev. Go ahead.
Yeah, you stole my thunder there, brother. Yeah, we're Mr. James, we're keeping that same energy. You and Clutch put this team together. Let's keep it 100. You guys put it together. Wasn't Frank Vogel, Because no, he's taking the fall guy. Russ didn't even play last night, and somehow we're probably gonna blame Russell for the loss last night. Y'all lost to a depleted Portland Trailblazers team that just completed, and I'll get into the trade scene in a little bit. That just completed the team's decimate. Had 8 or 9 bodies, and it was able to withstand y'all and beat y'all. That is a mess. James Worthy, the Hall of Famer, Los Angeles Lakers, he chimed in and said, "This is the worst," and he said it. I'll get the quote here in my notes here in a second. He said it. This is the all-time, worst thing that he's seen for the Lakers in a very long time. Back to you, moderator, for this session.
I'm gonna just go ahead and read down the stat line. LeBron James had, in 36 minutes, he had 30 points, 13 of 22 from the field. He shot 3 of 7 from downtown, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 6 turnovers. Can't blame Westbrook for that. Anthony Davis played 40 minutes. Street clothes. Played 40 minutes. 17 points. 8 of 11 shooting. Let me repeat that. Anthony Davis played 40 minutes. 8 of 11 shooting. Yeah, he shot the ball great. 17 points. 7 rebounds, 6 assists. 5 blocks. And the rest of the team, it's really not much to talk about. THT Horton Tucker had 14 off the bench. Johnson had 11. It's really not much else to talk about. My thing is this, DA, before I give you the floor, here's my issue is I wish some of these players would stop worrying about the outside noise of the fans, because that's what we're here for. We are going to boo you when you suck, and we're going to cheer you when you deserve to be cheered, when you play great, okay? We know that you're human beings. You're not robots. However, this is a team sport. Last time I checked, this is not golf. This is not tennis. It's a team sport. So with LeBron James having been given the keys to LA, so to speak, he goes out, he buys the groceries. Hell, he goes in there, he even tries to sprinkle a little salt and a little pepper. My thing is this: stop burning the fucking house down everywhere you go. Get the fuck out the kitchen. Okay, DA, it's all yours, man. Go ahead. Take it.
Thank you, brother. I'm gonna try to be the calm guy. I don't have a whole bunch against, I guess, LeBron James per se. I got a lot against, I guess, his paid staff on the other shows, ESPN, Fox, wherever you guys hire that on a daily basis. I know you're getting the check, you're on the payroll. We can see it, we can hear it, right? So even Skip, yeah, boy, yeah, Skip, because I see you jumping on Westbrook rather than jumping on the orchestrator. But we'll get there in a second, right? So First things first, guys, right? I'm gonna jump into a lot of the misnomers that we've heard over the years. LeBron James makes players better. He makes players better while they're playing with him. He doesn't, and he makes their numbers better. He doesn't necessarily make players better, because when he leaves, no one that he leaves becomes an all-star based on anything they learned from him. Like Scottie Pippen, right? So that's because Scottie didn't come in that good. Scottie averaged 7 points a game, folks. So what I'm telling you guys is look at your stats, right? So his first year, Scottie was not really a huge contributor. By the time Michael's father was murdered and he left to go play baseball, Scottie Pippen was a top 50 player. So like a school teacher, your students are better after you go. That's how it shows that when they go from second grade to third grade, that they learn something, right? So first, that's the first thing, right? So I don't necessarily believe that he makes players better.
Agreed.
You would have to give me a group of guys whose numbers have gone up after LeBron James left. And I'll wait.
And please don't say Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving was already trending upwards, and that's why LeBron went there. So please stop.
Yeah, and they still didn't go up because when he got to Boston, things were a fiasco.
No, this is true.
So there you go, right? LeBron James is the consummate team player. He's always going to make the right move and the right pass for the team. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant were selfish, and they only wanted to score, and they never ever had an assist in 15 years, and never had a rebound or anything else. Okay, but let's unpack this one. Now we're talking about LeBron, and this is all I hear, folks. And if I'm wrong, somebody get on YouTube and tell me I'm wrong. All you hear now from my man on Fox is, my man LeBron did his thing. You hear dudes on ESPN, hey, LeBron did his thing. Okay, Mama Warren, cover your ears. What the fuck is his thing? Losing? Is that what his thing is? Because you scoring 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists in a loss is exactly the same thing these talking heads used to jump on Westbrook about when he was getting triple doubles and losing. They called them empty calories. But no one says that today. You know what you say now? Yo, LeBron's doing his thing. So it's no longer a team sport now. Now it's just LeBron doing his thing. And listen, if I hear it again, I wish I could slap you. All right? And you know what? I could take an L in the fight because I've been in fights, but I would slap you. All right? So doing your thing makes no sense to me, right? Especially in the context of Mr. James, where you always have said for the last 16 years that he was the consummate team guy. He's going to make the right pass. He's going to do this. He's going to do that.
That's right.
Keeping it 100 with you, last night, that dude got his cookie snatched. When I say cookie snatched, ball players know what I'm talking about, especially uptown Harlem ball players know. Yo, like 3-4 times, just one-on-one, dudes just ripped them. Bow, I'm out. Got your cookies and I'm going. So that means either one, he's not paying attention, or two, like the rest of the human beings, he's just getting old.
Oh no, DA. Oh no. I believe that was that a back-to-back?
Hey, listen, I don't care.
They are exhausted. That's what I heard all day today. They are tired.
I will get to that. That's one of my next points.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And that's not so necessarily on LeBron James as it is to the newfangled NBA. And
it's newfangled. You better believe it.
Yeah, I get. There's a guy, and there's two guys, right? So I'm gonna shout you guys out. You guys don't know me. You may never shout me out, but fuck it. There's the guy Fluent that's on TikTok, and there's a brother called the OG, right? So the OG dude, I swear he's from New York somewhere, but he got an accent like from back home, right? But the reality is, like, he's a LeBron dude, and we can agree to disagree on that. That's fine. But you guys cannot disagree with me on these facts, man. Back in the day, dudes played 82 games without all of the hyperbolic chambers that dudes are sleeping in, and all of the nutrition and the weightlifting and all the things that these guys have today. We're getting told that these guys are so much better athletes. They're so good. These guys can jump over the moon and come back and not touch the floor, but you can't play 2 nights in a row. I saw Patrick Ewing come out of the game and have more ice put on his knees for a timeout, and he went back in. You know what Michael Jordan said his final year in Washington, and you guys can find a quote on this. They said, yo, Mike, why you play 82 games? He said, because somebody paid to see the show,
Damn
quote
right.
unquote. So for all the money, you know, when we got all the money that these guys are making, you know, for all the flying first class and all the rest of these items, you know, I remember my mother met Dr. J. I got his autograph in 1976 in LaGuardia Airport as they were going from one flight to another flight. Okay? So the private planes, look at all the stuff you guys get. Y'all can't play back to back. And this dovetails into my final point of the evening. And I'm going to do this a lot. This is like what grinds my gears. And I got a lot of shit that grinds my gears, and I'm not Peter Griffin. All right? So this is the last one. The bubble. The championship in the bubble. I will never disrespect a man for winning the championship because you won a championship. You're hard, you're a professional athlete, and you deserve everything you get. But I will not keep accepting you guys telling us this was the hardest shit you ever did. Because I did it 4 times with my son who played AAU. It's the easiest thing you ever want to do. You go to Disney, you check in, your son has a game, you meet them in the team in the lobby, they go, you go get a drink, you get in the lazy river, you ride around the pool, they come back, yo, Pop, we won. When you play again, 3 o'clock, then you go to the 3 o'clock game, you go get something to eat, you go upstairs. You're getting all the food you want from the best chefs. Well, we didn't, but you did. You never had to fly to like a Denver where the altitude was different or there was going to be another crowd out there. There was no crowd. How are you guys telling me that this was hard?
You don't understand what it's like to be an NBA player. That is why it was so hard, because they did not have fans there. They didn't have their families there, and that added to the stress of the NBA today.
You play 82 games, which means half of them, 41 of them, are away. So you don't see your family for damn near 3 months any goddamn way. So you're getting paid millions of dollars. It's called making a little sacrifice. Wife will be all right. You come home with that S63 Benz for here, baby. Hey, we was in the bubble. I couldn't see you. You give it a Benz. Life is good. You see your kids. You wasn't away from like, you know, like you didn't deploy to like Syria. Like you were in a bubble in Florida, in Orlando, in Disney, playing basketball. That's where you at now. You weren't in Syria. You didn't have to fly anywhere. There was no chance of catching COVID anywhere. Everybody was in the bubble. Living life outside the bubble was hard. Not being in the bubble. Being in the bubble was freaking easy. All right, so we're not going to keep having that conversation. We're just not, because it's not true. All right, my son played 14 and under there. Then the last 3 years, he did Super Showcase there and played 17 and under all the way through the time he was done. So the reality is, it was easy. It was easy. All right. That's what grinds me right now. And I got some football stuff we get to next week, and especially some baseball stuff I got. But hey, it's not that bad, LeBron. I think you're a hell of a player. I got you as 3 because I believe in people doing what's asked. And if Michael was asked to score and he scored, and Kobe was asked to score and he scored, but didn't do the other things, maybe because the system they played in didn't need them to do the other things. Because if Michael was throwing assists and Scotty was throwing assists and Paxson was throwing assists and nobody was scoring, guess what would happen? They'd lose the fucking game. So I'm out. And peace.
And peace.
Let me read this from Yahoo Sports, from Dan Feldman from Yahoo Sports. He says it was bad enough when the Lakers showed they're nowhere near the championship contending Bucks the day before, falling 107 to 105 to the Portland team. The Lakers couldn't even blame Russell Westbrook, who missed the game with back tightness. Westbrook is essential to many of the Lakers' problems, but as of yesterday, lifeless performance show the Lakers, who have lost 11 or 16, are mired in a wired funk. Listen, I think this is the first time we ever started the shows talking about, the Lakers and things of that nature, because we just don't. We talk about who's winning, but being that everybody else is promoting, it looks like to me you're liking some kind of promotion. So we kind of joined the bandwagon, but we're telling y'all guys, listen, you have to take things in perspective. And the Lakers in a heap of trouble. They're in the 9th spot of the playoffs. They're in some trouble. So
they're old. And they're just going to get slower.
You're going to have to go on the road. So let me just real quick before I get to the trades. Like in the Eastern Conference, the Miami Heat have quietly, they're 35-20. The Bucks are 35-21. The Bulls are 34-21. The Cavs have done a great job with their 3 centers. 34-21 also. They're playing really good basketball. Shout out to the Cavs. Philadelphia, who acquired James Harden. We'll get to that in a second. They're 32-22. Toronto Raptors are 30-23. Boston, the Celtics are 31-25. The Nets, who are on this awful slide, are 29-25. The Hornets are 28-28. The Hawks are 26-28. Let me go to the West. The Suns are ahead above everybody else. They're 44-10. Golden State, Memphis, Utah, Dallas, Denver. Then you got Minnesota's playing surprisingly well. The Clippers, the Lakers, and the Pelicans are bringing up in the 10th spot. So with that said, moderator for this segment, I'm sorry, I took the shine of you got last words in the segment.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this, man. I just wanted to get that out the way real quick because I, for one,
that's right,
don't want to spend a whole lot of time on a losing, aging team when we have a plethora of teams, surprising teams that's playing great ball out here. Memphis. I mean, who would have thought that Phoenix would have been right back at the top? I mean, I know some of you basketball heads probably would have thought, but a lot of the casuals, I don't think would have thought that they would have been back after the way that they lost to the finals. But there's a lot of good teams, and there's a lot of teams that's on the bubble that we now need to pay attention to, because now with these trades, it may invigorate some life in them. And the Lakers, like you said, they got some work to do. I'm gonna just say this, man. I'm not going to talk about the Lakers anymore, unless it's playoff time and they finally decide on wanting to play. And reason why I bring that up is this. In that quote in that tweet that you read that from Mr. LeBron James way back, right? When we turn it on, or however it was worded, when it's on, keep that same energy. I'm gonna say this, and we've been saying it on here on this show. There are a lot of these teams, a lot of these players that don't care about the regular season. So if, and it's a big if the Lakers do turn it on, I will continuously turn them off. Why? Is because they do not care about the regular season. How many, and we call ourselves the protectors, the defenders of the fans, right? How many of you fans out there that pay your good hard-earned money to go see your favorite player, LeBron James, and all these guys, right, during the regular season? Because let's face it, playoff tickets are ridiculously high. Okay, so you go to see him in the regular season, and he's playing Street Clothes Part 3, Part 4, and Part 5. How do you feel? How does your kids feel? They finally get to, if you down here in North Carolina and you're going to a Charlotte game because the Lakers are in town, and you just hoping, your kids are hoping that LeBron James will take off his sneakers and pass them to the crowd, but he's not there. He's in street clothes. He's not participating. How would you feel? Yes, Kevin.
I got firsthand account of that a couple of weeks ago when the Lakers were in Charlotte, and it was a bunch of people. Yeah. They was upset that he did not play.
He was just there the other night, didn't play. So, I find that to be a bad situation. And it's as dumb to me as when, your boy Spike Lee got put in the freight elevator and dude said, yo, man, you ain't gonna go back. He's like, no, I'll go back next year. I'm gonna go back. No, listen, man. This is what you're getting the whole time. You getting put in the freight elevator. Because the players don't care if you had to rush home from work, and get your kids, make sure you had to get something to eat, make sure your kids ate, got your wife, y'all get back in the car, gotta ride another hour back to the arena, and you get there, get your seats. Remember, you got these seats a long time ago because it's the Lakers, or it's the Sixers, or it's the whoever. Big time team, and you get there, and who you came to see is not playing. Who's giving you that money back? Because I'm sure the father's like, yeah, boy, I could have been home. I ain't had to do all this. But I did it, and you're not there. And it happens more times than enough. And the reality is this, and the way they're doing the taking off games and the way the press kind of couches it, he's tired, he playing the back-to-back. Let me tell you something, man. The reality is this. And again, I think Jordan played 82 games at 40. But just keep this in perspective, folks. If you come back to play, any player, we don't want to hear about your age. We don't want every time you score a basket that you're 37 and you scored a basket. Or Tom Brady is 44 and threw a touchdown. If they came back, believe you me, the athlete themselves believes that they can perform at the level of a 20-year-old or they would not do it. So press, fandom, stop it. We don't care. I don't want to hear it. All right.
Stop it.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, please. And I'm gonna just finish off with this. Nobody here is a hater of LeBron James because I know there's people in the comments somewhere. LeBron James, you're gonna hear from me, and I do not care. He's not one of my favorites, but that doesn't mean that he's not one of the greatest. LeBron James is one of these freaks of natures like Shaquille O'Neal that you come across, like the Greek freak. These guys don't come every year. You don't see them in the draft every year. Okay. This is a once in a generation talent. Okay. So if you people out there are enjoying Mr. James and his phenomenal runs at whatever he's running to, please enjoy it. Do so. Don't let me or anybody up here sway you either way. We are here solely to talk about the facts and our opinions based off of those facts. And my opinion is that
that's right.
He will probably go down as one of the top 5 greatest players of all time, but he still acts. And I'll just leave it like that because, we still trying to get sponsorships here with the show. So Lemon Pepper, we love y'all. You know what I'm saying? When you stop all of y'all. Yeah.
Lemon Pepper chicken wings, man. We're gonna move on, man. There was a trade frenzy at the 3:00 NBA trade deadline. So let me just start here. What's going on all week. Excuse my ruffling of papers, but let's just start. The Celtics sent Dennis Schroeder, Enes Freeman, and Bruno Fernando to the Rockets for Daniel Theus. The Pacers are sending Torrey Craig to the Suns for Jalen Smith. The Mavericks are trading Porzingis and a second-round pick to the Wizards for Spencer Dinwiddie and David Bertans. That's a very interesting trade. I thought Porzingis was going to stick around. Good trade for the Mavericks, I think. The Celtics traded Josh Richardson and Romeo Langford to the Spurs for Derek White Charlotte is getting Montrezl Harrell for Vernon Casey and Isaiah Smith. And last but not least, here on today, the big trade, the Philadelphia 76ers traded Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets for James Harden and Paul Millsap. I'll start with the angry one. What you think of that big trade right there, big dog?
I'm gonna start off with what we normally say here on the show on certain topics is James Harden, Ben Simmons. I don't want to hear shit. Okay. You guys got what you wanted. One is out of Brooklyn, the other's out of Philadelphia. Okay. Get into shape, get on the floor, and play ball. We've heard you guys complain for way too long. It's time to play. That's all I'm gonna say. I think it's a great trade for both teams because they have jettisoned the dead weight. Brooklyn on paper looks phenomenal defensively. You get a big man in Drummond that is there solely to rebounds and block shots and put the ball back in the basket. You get a great facilitator who also plays great defense 1 through 4. And just think about this, ladies and gentlemen. I know Ben Simmons has caught a lot of slack. I was part of that. But just think of this, okay? Picture it. I'm a shout out to Sophia from the Golden Girls. Picture it. Playoffs 2022. Ben Simmons coming down the court. You have KD setting up a screen. You got Patty Mills in one corner. You got Kyrie in the other corner. Who are you going to double? How are you going to play that? If you're a defensive stalwart coach, how are you going to play that? You got Ben Simmons coming down full steam into the paint. Who's going to stop that? And if you do collapse on that, which shooter are you going to leave open? And of course, this is on paper, but that is a scenario that the Nets are hoping to get with this trade. And oh yeah, by the way,
which is a good scenario, right?
Yes. And oh, by the way, just in case if any of those guys miss the shot, Ben Simmons is a great offensive rebounder, and you do have big man Drummond grabbing up whatever he doesn't get. So good luck with that. And that's why. And Philly, Jane, I'm not going to get too much into the. We talked off air about that. I'm not going to get into all of that here. James Harden, we know what you can do when you're motivated. I hope that you are motivated because you are a spectacular offensive player in this league. Along with Embiid, even though we've seen you play with other big men before and it didn't pan out, he wasn't no Embiid. So again, it's all on Doc Rivers. We're not going to forget about that. Doc, you've had some great teams since you left Boston. And now everybody's proclaiming this to be the best dynamic duo since Batman and Robin. Okay. Well, Doc Rivers, you're going to have to help that along. You couldn't do that with Ben Simmons, so you're going to have to do this with a 31-year-old James Harden. We'll see. You don't have them shooters, and remember, you don't have those shooters around you. So if James is off, if Embiid is off or hurt or something like that, who you got? Floor is yours, gentlemen.
Let me jump into there. So I think the Nets got the best of this deal, or just a slightly. Hopefully, Ben Simmons, he's gotten himself together in his head, literally and figuratively speaking. Any mental health issues, things he got going on. Hopefully, those things are cured or not cured, but he's actually actively working on it, making sure he's good in the head. As far as James Harden, to me, my opinion, and you guys can rock in the comments if y'all want to. We monitor the comments. This is the second time around this guy, to me, has kind of forced his way that he didn't want. And all of a sudden, I'm not a medical doctor, not like that, but it's just kind of funny that, how, the hamstring, the slight hamstring and things come of that nature. And sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror, man. And the theme of sports, is it? And you know what? He could have been aggravated by some of the things that, the whole Kyrie, he doesn't have a vaccine. He's done, he's playing part-time or whatever. I don't know those conversations, not privy to them, just, guessing and thinking that maybe he was annoyed by that. Okay, you ain't got Kyrie half the time, all right? But you still got KD, who you played with in where? When they first got together, when they first was drafted together. Am I correct? When they played in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
So you know what you got. So I even heard people saying, oh, he didn't like living in Brooklyn, man. Listen, those stars don't live in the city. They stay elsewhere. I know this for a fact. I'm from there. They don't stay. They'll stay somewhere up in especially if they know they're not going to be there for a while or whatever the case may be. Yeah, they're in an apartment on the Upper East Side, or they go to Jersey. They're not staying in Brooklyn. So, it's the second time around that this guy has forced his way. And he better make it work in Philadelphia, man. Like he says, this is third time around. This is what you wanted. You ain't want to be there. Whatever the reason it is. You feel that you need to be happy and now that you're motivated, hopefully you're motivated and, because at the end of the day, the fans just want, you to give your all and make sure that you are giving your all. And while you're out there, you give a good show. That's what we want. I think Embiid is the MVP of the league. He's playing lights out. So hopefully, this will enhance even Embiid and it's not going to be something that slows him down or whatever the case may be. And like you said, Eric, he got no shooters. So Harden is, if you're off, brother, you can't be soaking. You got to do the other things. Go ahead,
Danny Green. I think they kept Danny Green. What's the other kid? They got.
I had to look at their roster.
Yeah, they got the kid from Turkey.
Okay.
And they got Yang from Iowa. He played for Iowa State in college. Came from Utah this year. He could shoot it pretty good. But as far as that trade's concerned, I think it's an even Steven personally. I think it's probably more. I think it's more towards the Sixers this year, more towards Philly next year.
You mean Brooklyn?
Brooklyn. Sorry, next year when there's more time for Ben Simmons to get acclimated to whatever system they got and playing with those dudes. But it's going to be serious when they do pull it together. I don't really have a problem with Harden this time around because he was going to be a free agent, man. And the Nets are just saying, listen, let's get rid of him now before we lose him for nothing. So they did what they could do to get something for him, and they got a lot for him, especially not knowing if they would keep him past the summer because he's a free agent. He could have just, he could just bounce. So they got something for him, which is cool. I think if he comes in, like y'all say, motivated, as he was last season when he actually was doing his thing at the point for Brooklyn, assists, he was getting it in, scoring, assists, the whole thing. Now, if he does that, he's good because he got to play point, and he got to be a scoring point, but not too much scoring because you got to get Maxey involved, who I like. I think Thibault, if you let him play, he's a good guy to kind of cover for James Harden not being the best defender, because I think that boy Thibault is crazy on the defensive side. And Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid, not much else to be said. So I think that's not a bad deal. I think Karis LeVert going to play with his boy again back in Cleveland is a big move because they didn't really have any wings. So I like Karis LeVert going back to the Cavaliers. going to the Cavaliers. I like a lot of things that Indiana is doing to kind of free up money and free up space. Though I like Sabonis, man, and send them out there to the wasteland is whack. Sacramento is the wasteland. Send them out there is kind of whack, man. But Sabonis to me is a monster. I think he's going to be fine wherever he's at. I doubt he stays there because Sabonis is. I think he's a monster, man. Who else? Indiana's going to be serious though. They're going to be righteous. Believe me. The second half of the year, be on the lookout for Indiana. Be on the lookout not for Detroit to win anything, but to accord themselves and play really well. Of course,
especially
Cleveland,
with not to cut you off, DA. Especially with I think this trade was is underrated. Marvin Bagley, that 14 trade with Marvin Bagley going to Detroit.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about motivation with James Harden. A motivated Marvin Bagley in Detroit with Cunningham and what's his name, Bay and
Grant is there,
and Grant is still there. So and I think they still got the what's my man name that was going to give LeBron them that whooping, some of that mama's cooking. What's my man named Stewart?
Yeah.
That's an impressive team, young team right there, man. But
they gonna ball, man. I'm not too, I like the fact that Milwaukee, go out there to get Serge Ibaka.
Yes, I like that. Good trade.
I don't like losing my man Vincenzo because dude is nice. I like my man. He's good. I didn't really dig that too much, but the Clippers got Rodney Hood and Semi, who is good. There's a lot of good moves made, but they're like not casual fan moves. Like these are cats that really know what's happening moves.
Right.
So
go ahead.
I'm
sorry. Go ahead, D. No, I was saying, I kind of missed this one. The 4-player deal that the Bucks acquired Serge Ibaka for the Clippers, Rodney Hood, Samaya Ojale. The Bucks also traded Dante DiVincenzo, as you said, to Sacramento. Everybody's calling Sacramento Kings the wasteland. Even Shaq even sold his
he's been out
his
there
part of the
team. Years now. He's been out there for some years now, but I mean, I don't know.
You say, Marvin Bagley to the Pistons. So going forward, DA and Eric, what do you think these trades will do for, say, Milwaukee? Will this put them over the top again?
I think, like, it's funny when people say over the top, right? So I don't see Miami, they're in first place, but I don't see Miami having a chance of beating Milwaukee in a series, right?
Yeah, so I agree.
They don't have the firepower to deal with the freak. But
No.
What Ibaka does is he rebounds, and if he has any of that short porch jumper off the bench, then that's good enough. Because that's what he's there for. He's not there to score 20 or 30. They're already bringing Bobby Portis along to do that now. So, so they don't need it. They don't need it out of him, man. I think it just solidifies them towards the end, and it gives them the opportunity to rest some dudes coming down to the end of the season, so they can be ready for the playoffs. Which a lot of teams don't have that depth to be able to do that. So that's pretty important to do if they can. And I think kind of like Milwaukee is now not back where we were thinking a few years ago. Milwaukee, what they gonna do to try to get to the championship? Nah, dog. They're no longer the Hunters. They are the Hunted now, and they are acting like the Hunted. They are. Look, man, we gotta get ourselves stronger so we can sit, dudes down. We want to sit the Greek freak down for 5 or 10 games, or you play like a half a game here and there in the last few weeks. But now we try to give dudes some rest. The only way you can do that is by getting dudes on the bench. So that's what and valuable pieces on the bench.
Right.
So I think they'll be fine. I see them still coming out of the East unless something really wild happens or we see like, you know, the James Harden thing just take off in the way no one expected. But you know, like you guys said, and especially E said, that coaching is going to be real. So we'll see what Doc does. You know, because these, you know, neither one of these guys has played with a player like that before in their careers.
Oh, we know how, you know, Doc's a winner, right?
To a point. Then he stopped winning. I mean, that's the truth, though. He wins and he gets there and he stops winning. But I listen.
Throttles out.
Yeah, dudes, you know, it's like for Harden, it's like him going to play with Shaq.
Right.
Because that's what Embiid is right now. And for Shaq or Embiid, it's like, yo, Kobe Bryant's coming. Sure enough, scorer coming, right? He's coming to play. So what are you going to, somebody got sacrificed. And I'm letting you know it's not going to be the 7-foot dude. So somebody in Philadelphia is going to have to sacrifice. But we'll see. You'll know in a week. You will know in a week. So I don't expect Ben Simmons to play. So not for a minute. Because if he does, I'm going to have a whole problem with that mental health thing that he claimed if he gets traded and he's playing next week. Big problem. I'm going to have a big problem, big problem with dudes using that term anymore. Because if trades are curing mental problems, then we're going to go to Bellevue and just start trading dudes to other places and they'll be fine, right? Yeah. Okay. So
well, I will tell you what will be said is that if it does happen, is that the reason why he's able to play now is because he has this freedom. He has guys. He went to a team that obviously wanted him and blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that it's fact. I'm just saying that that's probably the rhetoric that we will hear out of that camp.
That's going to be a problem for me, fellas. Just so you don't know.
You had a job. You had a job, and every time you go there,
should be interesting to say the least. With the NBA trade.
Yeah, I can't do it with them. So.
Like I said, it should be interesting to say the least with the NBA trades. We're gonna segue to Major League Baseball here. Let me just read you something from Bob Nightingale of USA Today real quick. Bob Nightingale says Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred was speaking publicly Thursday for the first time since December 2nd began lockout, remains optimistic the regular season will start on time, but acknowledged that an agreement likely would need to be reached by the end of February. Manfred declined to officially postpone the start of spring training, but it is likely only a formality with camp scheduled to open up on February 16 and spring training games beginning February 27. While minor league camps will still open, Manfred said they would not be used as replacement players in spring training. Yes, don't do that. MLB and the Major League Players Association have a scheduled negotiation session on Saturday in which Manfred said there will be a new and modified proposals designed to make progress towards a new collective bargaining agreement. If the two sides still have a wide gap in their core economic proposals, there likely will be an official announcement and delaying spring training next week, along with some of these things that baseball wants to implement, not on the economic side, but this is part of the deal. The universal DH will be approved upon the ratification of the collective bargaining agreement. I think that's huge. I'm tired of pitchers of batting in the National League. Just let the professionals hit, and it's gotten bad over the years. The pitchers can't even bunt right in the National League. So just give me Edgar Martinez up every, he don't play the field, and I'm good with that.
Keep somebody in the
DA
job.
is our legal correspondent. Yeah, more jobs. DA, you're our legal correspondent. What does this Major League Baseball lockout mean? The Saturday sessions, what's going on? What you got, dog?
Well, essentially right now in baseball, this is our problem, man. There is a financial chasm, bridge, I don't know, canyon between what the players want as far as a new realistic cap and what the owners are saying that they're willing to pay going forward. And we also have to keep in mind, and it's hard to, when you're outside of it, to kind of be on either side because they both have really good points, right? So, about as far as how much, what you're giving for what you're getting. And that's what all people kind of deal with as far as, okay, what am I exactly paying for when I pay this player this? What about the team? They don't have to, as of today, they don't have to go through all of the gyrations the football team has, but that's where the owners in baseball want to go. They're trying to clamp this goddamn thing down. It's, like $300 million players is like, look, and what you're batting, what, 285? Come on. So they're trying to figure out some performance-based stuff. They're trying to figure out ways to pull money back, from specific contracts. And they're trying to figure out a way to kind of lower the cap so every year everybody's not paying a luxury tax. So if you hear the players tell it, and I'm pro player because I think dudes should get what they can get, but if you hear the players tell it, they want these guys to play for minimum wage. The reality is both of these guys have to come together. We're not going to have a sport at all. So there is a middle ground. As much as they talk like there is not a middle ground, there is one. I believe that they'll get to it within a month. Now, they're going to push back pitches and catches, of course, because we're right up on that. But, they're going to it's only going to be an issue in my eyes until maybe March 15th, and they'll be back everybody be back in Florida with you, Kev, or in Arizona by the 15th of March. That's what I think will happen.
Let me just read this from the same article I read. It said, in total proposals we made, we moved the agreement decidedly in the players' direction, said Manfred, estimating an increase for totaling exceeding $100 million, where the clubs have been and remain unwilling to move is in response to player proposals that we believe will undermine the competitive balance in our game. So to those that don't know, right, baseball has no salary cap, theoretically, right? They have what they call a luxury tax. So if you got the means, you pay.
You do it.
Meaning yeah. So if you go over the luxury tax, if you can afford to go over it, you'll pay it, and it's like nothing to. So teams like the Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, they constantly keep going on, even though in the last couple of years, the Yankees have, quote unquote, let me see my air quotes, has said they're going to be fiscally responsible and they're not going to keep doing that because, they've been
better.
They've been better. Yeah. Because that going to the wild card and losing in the first round in the wild card or in the playing game, that sucks. And that's when the Yankees pretty much have been going on since I think they made it to the AOC probably about 2 or 3 times since that time. Since 2009, since they won the last ring. So, Eric, what's your thoughts on MLB? Go ahead. I'm sorry, D.
Go ahead.
Well, I agree with DA. I don't think that this is going to drag on for much too longer. Both sides have good points, but that's a part of negotiating. There's a give and a take, so it's going to be interesting to see what each side pushes harder for and what they kind of ease up on. That's going to be interesting to me.
Right.
But like I said, I agree with D. I don't think it's going to drag on for too much longer because baseball is starting back on their upswing. and they don't want to lose that momentum. They've seen what happened the last time, all this stuff started happening and all this other stuff. So you don't want to lose the momentum that you have gaining fans and getting people back in the ballparks and all this other stuff, man. So you don't want to lose that steam, man. You don't
can't have another home run chase. Can't do that.
Yeah. Can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
You don't want to do that now. Another home run thing. Yeah, no, you don't. So,
but
the summer of love.
But I will
look
say,
what they're doing.
I will say though, what's interesting, always fascinating to me is this whole thing of not wanting to spend more. Well, if you hired the right people, you won't have to spend more. If you scout better, you won't have to spend more. I mean, look at the Tampa Bay Rays. Kev, I've talked about them for a good long time because the AAA team is down here in Durham, right? They have been quietly competitive over the last, 10, 12 years, trip to the World Series and all this other stuff. And they have one of the lowest payrolls in the league and no fan support. So if they can do that, the Yankees could come down off that cap. You spend better. What does DA say? Spend, vote with your dollars. Spend your dollars more wisely. That got to go hand in hand now.
So,
I tell people, if I own the team, the most high paid guys on my team, if I own the team, would be my scouts. And it doesn't matter what sport I'm in. My scouts get paid the most because they are the ones that help me make long-term investments. You remember, baseball is not football, so they're not going to have a situation where the baseball players are giving up practice twice a week to gain more money, or that's not the type of negotiations we're doing here.
No, they're so way past that. You're right.
Yeah, this is purely a money thing, right? And when they say they want things to be competitive, as Kevin said, you don't want the teams, and I'm not going to just say big market teams because the Houston Astros probably have as much money as anyone else, and so does Atlanta. Based upon
Houston Astros are the fourth largest market in the country. I don't want to hear anything. Go ahead.
So they got money. They just are still riding the team that they brought up 7 years ago. A lot of those guys are young guys that were there 7 years ago coming up. When we saw them want to come up and dudes like, who's this Altuve dude? When he was hitting 20 home runs, playing spots minutes, and he's platooning. You're like, okay, that kid can, whoa. And then, everything else happens. But what I'm saying is that scouting, bringing up that team, man, it's important. It's important, man. And I think that would probably fix all of your cap woes if you could bring up players the right way. You could build a team that way and you'd be good to go. And every 2 or 3 years, you'll have to pay one guy, All
right.
So.
Yeah. Kevin, your thoughts?
Oh, I just gave my thoughts on that. I just think that the Major League Baseball, they can't miss out on this wave. They're hot. They got to find a way to resolve this and resolve it quickly. It cannot, and I'm going to repeat, it cannot linger on into the summer. They have to get some deal. They have to have some sense of urgency. I don't understand what negotiations and things of that nature where both parties, and I understand because I've been part of unions myself personally, but the most powerful union, baseball is the most powerful union in the country, in the world, as far as I know. And, they've been dragging their feet. So the owners have locked the players out.
Yes. I
just hope they get a deal done and we can play baseball and we can, get that. I know what I want to ask you. Eric, what you think about the designated hitter now being in both leagues? That's what I want to get to.
It's funny you say that. I was sitting there thinking when you mentioned it in the intro of the topic. I'm 50-50. Honestly, all this time I've been like, yo, man, they need to get rid of they need to get rid of this pitching, man. I mean, this pitching, the pitch is hidden and all this other stuff. Just do universal DH, get it over with, right? And now that it's happening, it's like that's kind of what made the National League special in its own sense. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when you get away from, the small ball schematics of things, it kind of changes the dynamic of it. So, I mean, I'm welcome it. It's like anything else that they change or whatever. I welcome it. See how it goes or whatever. I don't think it'll be bad. Bring more jobs. Guys' careers will last a little bit longer than usual. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I mean, but I will say though that once it's gone, I think a lot of people be, kind of like, yeah, I don't know about that. Especially the diehard baseball fans.
I got an opinion on that, man. First and foremost, man, it bugs me out to watch cats that if you pitch in high school, you hit. Just the days you're not pitching, right? You hit, so you know how to hit a freaking ball. If you're in a small college, you hit, but you just don't pitch and don't do anything else. Like maybe if you go to Vanderbilt, you might pitch and not play right field. But most college guys, because they are so, remember, you don't get, the whole team is not on scholarship in college baseball, even at the highest level.
Right.
So if you're pitching, you're doing something else on that team. Right field, left field. So like what, the next day you're just what? Fodder? No. You're hitting. You are taking your hats. So the fact that you get to Major League Baseball and you can't fucking bunt is a problem to me. Something is wrong to me. Because if you guys want to turn on the TV and look at your Spanish baseball right now, dude that's pitching today is playing third base tomorrow.
That's right. I have one question for you, DA. Is that, would you say that that is because of the poor development that we are seeing in baseball as far as hitting coaches and again with the small ball going away, everybody wants to see the home run? Do you think that's a part of it?
It's probably a part of it, but I listen, dude. These guys look like they've never had a bat in their hand, some of them. So it looks crazy out there. And I know you've been hitting.
Right.
I know you have.
So for my man Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, well, hey, that dude there is a different kind. He's going to change baseball. And
said that, yes.
He may end up being the reason for another lockout in 2 or 3 years. All right. Because if I'm an owner, I want 6 of him. I don't want any other pitchers. I want pitchers that can hit the next day. That's what I want. It saves me a roster spot. Even if I pay Shohei $300, instead of paying 2 cats $300, I'm paying 1 dude $300. Right? So he got Bryce Harper and another guy, any pitcher you want to name, pitcher A and Bryce Harper. All right, Shohei, I'll give you $310 million contract. At least I'm not giving you a $600 million contract for each, because he is 2 players. Shohei Ohtani is 2 players. And this is what people don't seem to understand, that he is 2 players. So, yeah. He's going to change the game. He's going to make them, he's going to make owners tell pitchers, Kevin. I'm going to let you go. He's going to make owners tell pitchers, look, you're pitching today, but you're playing third base tomorrow.
See, so, you know what? You done made me think of a whole nother question, but I'm not going to ask it because it's. I'll save it for another time. Let me write it down so I won't forget.
Okay, I got you. Like I said, we're gonna segue to another topic here in a second. Like I said, baseball. Hey, get this done, please. Get it done. Please. Get it done. That's all I ask. Get it done, real quick, and don't throw anything at me. I just gotta cover it. Got to say it. It's going on. It's sports, right? It's what? It's the Olympics. It's the Olympics. The medal count for who's got the most medals. I think here Austria has most medal counts. They got 13. United States 10. Norway got 12. Germany 9. Guys, I'm just going to ask this question: have y'all been watching any of the Winter Olympics?
No, sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say no. I usually keep, y'all always know me, I usually keep my ear to the streets. However, work has got me in a different gear, so I haven't been, especially with the NBA trade deadline and the Super Bowl coming up. I'm not even going to pump fake with y'all, man.
Yeah, and we keep it 100 here. I haven't. I'm sorry. I have. Dan, our hockey again, told me the other night, hey, make sure you watch the U.S. women's team who's been wilding out of control. They I believe they're on their way to the semifinals. I think they kicked Sweden's butt the other day. They won 11-0. Something to that. So I've been watching the hockey and the women's hockey and the men's hockey, man. So shout out to the Olympics, man, for what they're doing. We gave you a little bit of something. Like I said, we keep it 100 here. Ain't nobody watching everything. We got our things that we watch. Let me move as I talk about hockey. Dan, you'll be real proud of me. Let me just go over this couple. The Oilers fired Dave Tippett and replaced him with Jay Woodcraft. Dominic Ducharme was also fired by the Canadiens and replaced with Martin St. Louis, a former goaltender. And if anybody didn't see this the other night, man, Brad Marchand, I wanted you to get 15 games for what you did. That was a sucker move, dog. That was a real sucker move. I wanted to share my screen, but if y'all didn't see this, go to YouTube and see the game between the Penguins and I forgot who they was playing. Boston and the Penguins. And Brad Marchand did a sucker move, hit the Penguins goalie. And I thought for sure he was going to get 15, 30 games. And the NHL decided to give him only 6. He hit the Penguins, Tristan Jarry, the goalie. And if you saw it, he just came from behind, just sucker punched the goalie. And that might turn into some Rangers and Washington Capitals thing the next time they meet. I'll tell you that. So get yourself. Yeah. Oh, DA, you saw it. Well, what's your thoughts, real quick, on that play?
Yeah, it should have been more. It should have been more, but they policed themselves, and it's coming. It is coming. They'll play again, and I'll be there to watch it. So, DA made a great point, and Dan is probably somewhere screaming like, "Yes, yes!" Hockey polices itself. It will. It organically makes sure things go right organically, and that will be a corrected problem. You watch. Just as when the Rangers and the Capitals near the end of the year, and they waited a whole off season, and sure enough, even Gary Bettman said, "Y'all better not." Whatever. They went out there and still kicked ass. It's on. It's on. Yeah, yes. I've been waiting all summer for this shit. Yeah, so I'm about to get you. So shout out to the NHL for, like you said, they're policing themselves, man. We're gonna segue to the National Football League. As we stated, we're gonna talk about a couple of coaching hires here. Let me talk about this shit. Yeah, don't do me like that. Oh, we got a couple new coaching hires. So, hey, Lovie Smith has replaced David Culley at the helm. If you don't remember, Lovie, he used to be the former Bears and Buccaneers head coach. He also coached at the University of Illinois. He takes over Culley, who was fired off after 1 year. 1 year. I don't even think that the Texans wanted him to be coached. But hey, Houston has got to be like the New York Knicks, where they lead the league in sports of paying former head coaches. You know what? That needs to be that needs to be a stat. I think Houston's playing quite a few former head coaches. The Knicks are still playing Phil Jackson and former head coach. Listen, man, this here was a situation where, yeah, I this is an opinion, everyone, so y'all can kill me on this one, but I can only go off of what I see. Reality is this, man. They was gonna give Josh McCown that fucking job. They already interviewed him twice. Everybody was saying he was gonna get the job. The thing happened with Flores. The NFL told Houston, yo, we've been covering y'all for a minute. Y'all are going to have to take one for the team and hire Lovie Smith. Because Lovie Smith didn't even have an interview, and he got the job. Right? They wasn't interviewing him. They like I said, Josh McCown, who had never coached anywhere, damn near didn't play, backup quarterback. He was going to be the coach. Without ever coaching anywhere, he was going to get that job if Flores had not sued the NFL for racist hiring practices. So when that happened, the NFL said, listen, man, y'all are a problem child. Y'all going to have to take one for the team. So you hired this dude here. And that's what happened. Because how different is are we knowing this guy is going to be, Lovie Smith is going to be from David Culley? You still don't have any players on the team. So, that's all. I got no more to say about that.
Well, back up, DA. Back up. Whose fault is not the coaches? It's the organization's fault. They keep on drafting wrong. They keep on.
Look, I know. This is what I'm saying, though. You're going to put Lovie Smith there, and nothing's going to change.
No.
Because there are no players there. It's not his fault.
It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
It's almost like Brian Flores in Miami. Not expected to win a thing. Maybe paid under the table not to win a thing. That's just speculation, people. That's just speculation. I don't have no sources on that. I'm just saying. And if they do so happen to flourish under him, he'll get 2 years, and if that, and then they'll move on to another retread coach. That's just how it is.
Another shot. Somebody's nephew, cousin, son, Schottenheimer, somebody. Yeah.
Another Shanahan through the ranks.
Yes.
So, DA, what you think about Mike McDaniel joining the Dolphins today? I actually listened to his press conference. He sounded good.
Mike McDaniel is I got no problem with him. Again, and this goes, and I will use this logic, and if you folks can follow me, it's great. If not, I will draw out stick figures. You hear for years with the Niners that offense is Shanahan's offense, and he's an offensive genius. Okay, we believe you. This is what you told us, right? Then you hear this guy gets a job, but I'm like, he was the OC of the Niners, dog. Yeah, but you just told me that Shanahan called all the plays. So I say that to say this. For years, guys would go take defensive guys from the Patriots. Why would you do that if Bill calls all the plays? If you're running his defense the way he wants you to run it, that's why when everybody from the Patriots, they used to come out there and coach, they didn't do anything. They didn't win because they didn't do anything in New England. Bill did it all. You guys just get your paychecks, look important on the sideline, and when it's time to get your trophy for your Super Bowl and your rings, just be thankful. Because evidently when they left, they weren't any good. So that tells me that Bill did everything. So we'll see if they were lying to us and it wasn't all about Shanahan and the offense, and this guy did it. We'll see next year, because we still got Bieniemy out there that can't get a job. So I don't know if the offense is his or if it's Andy's, because the guy that they beat in Buffalo got the job, and he's the offensive coordinator, but is it his offense or his head coach's offense?
Well, let me play devil's advocate with you, D. I don't think we spoke about it this week, so let me go on for a little bit. Just bear with me. Just entertain.
Yes, sir.
So the gentleman who's the Bears' new general manager, right? He came from Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
The new guy.
Brother man.
Yeah, he came from Kansas City.
Yes.
Why you don't think I'm just that's what I do. I'm the moderator, host, and my job is to think. How come, and it's been said, how come he ain't put Bieniemy on though?
Because you can't.
Listen, what you mean you can't? He's in charge.
No, you can't, man. You can't. Because you're a black man never in charge. And I'm not trying to be funny, and I wasn't trying to go down this route, but just know that if a black dude gets a position of power anywhere, the first thing they're going to expect you to do is look out for a black guy, and then everybody's going to jump down your back for doing it. So he's probably being very careful to not do it. He probably could have and should have. Probably should have and could have. But didn't they have the coach hired in Chicago before they hired the GM?
They hired the coach first. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so
they kind of did the card. They kind of did it backwards. Yes.
Yeah, so that's a backwards ass team, and it shows that the GM is not tied to the coach. So it's the first one to the finish line is the one to keep a job. Because if the coach wins, GM will be gone. Coach gets the power. Coach loses, GM keeps the power, gets a new coach. As my grandmother would say, God bless you, Granny, playing two ends against the middle. Mm-hmm. So that's what they're doing out there.
Let me just hypothetically just ask a question since we're on the topic. Is it possible? Because I haven't heard this or anything like this, but is it possible that maybe, just maybe, Bieniemy is waiting for Andy Reid to retire, and he's been blessed with the coaching job when Andy retires? You got Patrick Mahomes there for 30 years. I mean,
there's a few things with that. Like, I don't believe Patrick Mahomes is going to end his career in Kansas City. That's one. Because the contract is made up. So it's backloaded, and they're going to do him like Cam Newton. When it's time to give him that $60 million a year, they'll cut him, right? So that's part one. Part two is, I don't have a problem with that if we go by what the NFL has always done. They don't hide that fact. Like, if you're going to be the next in line there, who the hell hides that fact? They always say it. Remember, McDaniel was supposed to be the next coach in New England for like 18 years. They told us that shit. He never got the job. But the point remains is, like, no reason to hide. If Bieniemy is going to be the guy waiting in the wings when Andy Reid decides he wants to be out, then why hide it, man? And why would he be interviewing still? Right? Shoot, if it's just for the Rooney Rule, if you know you got a job coming, think, man, I ain't going to interview. They can call you. And, you want to interview a black guy? James Eric Warren, call him. He's our token interview dude. Yeah, he'll come. Yeah, no. Just tell him when to fly him out. Make sure there's food. Yeah. Food and Hennessy. He is good to go. No. He got 6 days. He'll take some days off to come do it.
Dang.
And you just come do it. Knock it out. If that's all it is, right? Because if I'm Bieniemy and I know that I'm going to be the coach when Andy Reid breaks out, why am I going to do it? I'm not interviewing with nobody. Because that would upset the team, right? Wouldn't that upset Kansas City if you would promise something like that, right? Because you messing up their plans. If the owner say, yo, listen, man, yo, Kevin, you're going to be the coach. Andy's going to coach 2 more years. He's going to be out, and that's your spot. All right, so you got that wrapped up. Now, if I go out there and interview, whoa, Kev, what are you going to interview for? We got you. What are you doing? You know, so that's kind of where I see that happen. So
that makes sense. I ain't think of it like that.
Yeah.
And Washington beating Brooklyn.
That's a good point, man. Let me just go to some of the other coaching things. Jacksonville, they fired Doug Peterson. I just think the owner down there, he got a lot of money, man. I just think maybe Doug Peterson can right the ship. Replacing Urban Meyer. Las Vegas, they hired, of course, they hired? I'm sorry.
Patriot dude.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Josh McDaniels.
McDaniels, sorry. The Saints, they got Dennis Allen to replace Sean Payton, who said he was stepping away. Sean Payton's about to go on TV. Don't let nobody fool you.
That's what they do. They get that TV money before they get back into coaching.
Yeah. Or they stay there, like Cowher and Tony Dungy and things like that. And I'm not mad at that. I don't think, it was the last press when Cowher, they were saying Cowher was coming to coach Washington, and he's like, nah. Speaking of which, let me go segue to the Washington Commanders. First of all, that's an awful name. Awful. Y'all had these other. That's an awful name. Second of all, you know what? He ain't even worth it. Dan Snyder, whatever.
I was about to black out my screen.
That place is what it is.
I told y'all years ago, back when I was still on Facebook, fuck that team, bro. I'm sorry. I mean, not the team. Let me take that back, man. Fuck that owner.
Yeah, Dan Snyder has rubbed a lot of people wrong since his 30 plus years owning the Washington Commanders. They should have kept just said the football team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Last but not least, the Los Angeles Rams will be the second team to host the Super Bowl, and they've done it. And this is done 2 years in a row. Tampa Bay was able to host the Super Bowl where they won. The Rams 12-5 this year against the Bengals 10-7. They will go head to head at SoFi Stadium at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 3:30 out there for my West Coast people. Y'all remember when I used to say that saying? But hey, I got my man. Got somebody professional to do that now. I ain't got to do all that.
Ain't no fumbling the bag at the beginning of the show.
No doubt. The Bengals are one of the...
Can I play? Go ahead. Can I play conspiracy theorist real quick? I told this to D-Dub. Shout out to D-Dub, Mike Millie, Dan the Hockey Guy. Love y'all, man. Miss y'all. Yo. So, you guys are NFL historians. When was the last time, before last year, when was the last time that a team of a hosting city, the team of the city that's hosting the Super Bowl, when was the last time that happened prior to Tom Brady in Tampa Bay?
It's never been done.
It's never been done.
No.
Oh, okay. Talk to us.
It was not called the Super Bowl.
No, DA.
Can I give you a history lesson?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all for the history lesson.
Yankee Stadium, Giants and Yankee Stadium. That's when Frank Gifford and those dudes was rocking. All right, go ahead, man. Go do what you do.
Okay, I thought you was going to say the Niners playing in Palo Alto.
No.
Okay. I was going to say they like 100 miles north of San Francisco, but go ahead. I'm sorry, D. My bad.
We good.
And football is my favorite sport, right? However, I just find it very, 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 very strange that all of a sudden, after all these years of not having this happen, this phenomenon happen. It not only happened once, it happens twice back to back. And not only did it not just happen back to back, but both teams went and got quarterbacks, right? That was the talk of the town when it happened. Oh, everybody loved Tom Brady. and him going to Tampa. Will it work? Can he finally separate from Bill Belichick and win the title? This and that, the third, and that happened. Then we get Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, the trade happened, all the talking heads, oh, this is great for Matthew Stafford, this and that, the third. I looked around like, what am I missing? I must have missed something. And credit to Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams, they made it to where they made it to. However, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but yeah, I guess I'm the only one that sees smoke in the land with this one, man. I'm sorry. The most prominent of positions in the NFL, because nothing is more star-worthy than the quarterback.
That's correct.
And two, you go from Florida to California. Will we see Aaron Rodgers possibly going to the where's the Super Bowl at next year? Does anybody know?
Yeah, I ain't going unless I'm going.
Did they even come out with that yet?
Yeah, that's done years and years in response. So
they usually do it 5 years in advance. I'm looking at it right now. Go ahead, Eric.
So I mean, if it's somebody like that has a possible QB opening.
Well, Eric,
please tell me the Houston Texans or something. Who?
No, it's in the Valley of the Sun, sir. It'll be in Glendale, Arizona next year.
Oh! Now we know why Kyler Murray. That's why he shut down all his Instagram accounts.
Oh no! When I said that the other day, you was like, "No, I'll shut my."
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm done. On that note, I am done. I'm done. Take it away, Kevin. Take it away.
I think with that, he is like, I don't think Matthew Stafford, as crazy as it sounds, I really don't think he got much to do with it at all. I think the reason they got to where they at right now is because of Odell Beckham and Von Miller. Odell Beckham, for those third down conversions, especially in the last few games, put them over the top. They won those games because of Odell. Because your boy Matthew Stafford threw the ball to the other team in both these games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and remember the what was the wide receiver prior to Beckham that got hurt? He got hurt, and
Robert Woods.
That just opened the floodgates.
Robert Woods.
Yeah,
he got hurt. So
Odell gonna get paid.
So let me ask you. So, by the way, just want to plug this real quick. Monday. Somebody say Monday at 7:30. We will absolutely have a Super Bowl show. We will only talk about the Super Bowl. We'll break it down. We'll take it apart, put it back together on Monday at 7:30. So y'all be here. We'll be here on Monday at 7:30. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. Before we get out of here, we're going to get your picks. I'll start with myself. I think this is going to be a close game. I think this will have some offense to it. I think, I hate the 2 weeks that they do the Super Bowl because it gives the media, and I guess I'm part of the media too now.
But we're different. We actually do journalism, so we don't go and try to fetch stuff out of the air to talk about for 2 weeks. But go ahead.
The whole thing about, Joe Burrow, just let the guy just play. This is his first Super Bowl, man. He's blessed to have it in his second year to get an opportunity to play. Yes, he's cool as the other side of the pullers, my man. Shout out to Stuart Scott. Rest in peace, my brother.
Yes.
Yes, he has incredible poise. I think he's a really good thing. I saw a thing on Instagram, and it's been coming about when he got blasted by one of the Alabama defenders on, I think in one of the championship games, and it say after that, man, he's been playing lights out, man. Shout out to Joe Burrow. Matthew Stafford, he played a long time with Detroit, 12 years. And, he's getting his opportunity to shine, man. So some of these stories with that, Odell Beckham, redemption. He's been talking about redemption all weekend. He's been playing well, maybe he's had some self things he had to lay out. Shout out to Odell Beckham, man, for getting things together. Who else? Just so many things. Shout out to the people of Cincinnati. It's been a long time. 30 years since they've been to the Super Bowl. Cincinnati is a really, really good sports town. With the Bengals, with the
Reds
and the Reds, So shout out to to Cincinnati, man. And I'm going to go with this game will be 27-21 Cincinnati. Joe Burrows. In the last 2 minutes, he throws a touchdown to Chase.
Wow.
And they seal the deal. 27-21. 27-21. You heard it right there. That's who I'm rocking with. Eric, who you got, dog? Eric keeps saying wow.
Yeah, cause I just feel like it's inevitable. However, let me do my pick and then I'll do my however. I'm going with the Rams. I gotta rock with the NFC West. So I'm gonna go with the Rams. Final score 34-31 in the thriller overtime.
Ooh, Super Bowl overtime.
Odell Beckham will be your MVP.
Okay. I got Joe Burrows being the MVP.
Well, both of y'all are wrong.
Okay.
That's cool. I've been wrong all year, so
yeah.
Might as well finish strong, right?
No money on it, right? I'm good, right?
The score is probably going to be less than that. I don't think this is exactly what has to happen for Cincinnati to win the game. And I'm going with Cincinnati. Styles make fights. Cincinnati has to run the ball with Joe Mixon. That's the only way you can keep that line. That's the only way you can keep that defensive line up off of
Burrow.
So it'll be Mixon. It'll be the other running back. It'll be a lot of screen passes, a lot of runs, and you attack LA's linebackers, which is the weakest part of their defense. And you run straight at Donald because that's what the 49ers did for 5 straight wins against the Rams. So you got to go with, if a team beat a team 5 times out of 6, you got to go with that 5 times. So what has to happen is that the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line probably blocks better going forward than backwards. And forward meaning run blocking as opposed to pass blocking, which is going backwards. So if they can do that and run at that line with Joe Mixon, who is a good running back. He's not an average running back. He's not a serviceable running back. Joe Mixon's serious deal. And the other cat that they got there from Oklahoma is also a serious deal. So that being said, I think they'll run the ball with them. Your boy Stafford is back to throwing the ball to the other team. I think they'll put one of those into the end zone. But it's going to be a good game. But I don't think that their secondary is as bad as what folks think it is over there in Cincinnati. And if you get them down, if you get the Rams down and you get Stafford to have to win a game, you're probably in a better position than you think if you can get them to have to win a game. I mean, now, and Odell is serious, but he ain't been here before. So nobody has. That's why you want to keep the ball on the ground with a dude that don't fumble. And Mixon don't fumble either.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. So that's my humble opinion.
Like I said, thank you, DA. We appreciate that, man. Hey, man, we had a good show tonight. Before I get into that, take Mikey's spot here real quick. Hey, we can be found on all podcast platforms. That will be Apple. That will be Deezer. That will be Amazon. Hey, we just got on Google. We're on Google. We're working on getting on Odyssey. Odyssey, we're working on where we are. Google, Odyssey, where else? Spotify. Yeah, we're on Spotify. We've been on Spotify since day one. All podcast platforms, we're on there. Look for this beautiful logo in the back, behind my back, behind all the gentlemen's back here. any podcast platform, we are to be found. So we're on there. Like and subscribe, download, hit us up. Let us know how we feel how you feel about us. We're also on Instagram, Sports Chasers Podcast. At Instagram, we're also on Twitter, sports_chasers, twitter.com. We're also on Facebook at Sports Chasers Podcast. At Facebook, I'm trying to think where else we're from.
Oh, we are live on YouTube.
We're live on YouTube. Every time that we get on here, we stream. We are live here on YouTube. We're also on TikTok. We also just created a TikTok account. TikTok is a really cool thing. Sometimes you get addicted to that thing just scrolling, man. Especially when it comes to the sports thing. But we had a really good show. We missed our fellow podcast mates, cohorts, our brothers, Mike Mills, shout out to Mills, and D-Dub, doing their thing. Shout out to those fellas. But yeah, we'll have them back here on Monday. We have full crew back as we analyze the Super Bowl. We go over that. We had a really good show, as we always do. Really good things. We talked about a lot of good things. I don't think. Hey, one thing I did miss. KD just came out and said, in a quote on Twitter, I quote, "Everybody got what they wanted." End the quote. That's what Kevin Durant said. So, shout out to Kevin Durant for voicing his opinion about. Yeah, everybody got what they wanted. Love KD.
Yes, sir.
Love KD. Part shots. I will start with the DA. DA, what you got for me, man?
I got nothing other than saying, hey, my little cousin, DeRon Edward Holmes, I love you. I'm gonna miss you, and just keep a spot for me, man. All right, that's it. No more than that. God bless you all.
Shout out to DeRon, man. DA's cousin, man. Yeah, shout out, man. Salute, brother. Show's dedicated to you, my friend. Shout out to you, man. Eric, what you got, bro?
Nothing heavy, man. Like I always say, man. Everybody keep it easy out there. It doesn't drain your pockets to watch out for one another, do a good deed for one another. Every man, woman, and child. I know there's some earthlings out there that'll irk your nerves and whatnot. I feel you. But man, help your fellow human being out, man. I mean, open the door for a lady you see is struggling with some groceries or something like that, man. Don't always try to chase the groceries. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Yo, man, I'm bugging. Yo, I'm sleepy. Yo, great show tonight, fellas, man. And man, can't wait to the Super Bowl. Everybody be safe this weekend. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Get you an Uber, get you a Lyft, whatever you want to do. Be safe, be responsible, be accountable. That's it. Peace.
That's good. Good stuff. Always, as I say, everybody be careful, be safe, take care of one another, take care of your fellow man, your fellow human, brother and sister. We're all in this together. Just take care of one another. Just a side happy note. So this is Super Bowl weekend, right? Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes,
let me just give a thing. What I've been doing and still been doing. And, Eric can attest to this when we used to, throw Super Bowl parties in Brooklyn. So what we used to do, just for those who are entertaining people this weekend at the Super Bowl, if you're a diehard sports fan, just bear with me for 1 minute. I'll give you this PSA. Hey, so if you got people coming to your house, you got your diehard fans and you got your you got your casual fans, right?
Them CS, yes, sir.
So what you might want to do so the casual don't interrupt you and ask, who's the guy wearing number 8 with the black and orange tiger stripes on? So what you might want to do is just separate the casuals from the diehards. That's what we used to do. That's what I still do. Get a TV in another room or whatever the case may be for the casuals, and for the diehards,
separate floor.
You keep them out there. Keep the food flowing, drinks going. Be careful, be safe. Make sure you use Uber or whatever. Just don't drink and drive, please. I implore you not to do that. But casuals, y'all be in that one room or upper level, whatever, however y'all want to set it up. Because one thing that I know that's annoying to me as a sports fan is to have that question asked. Why, Oh, I can't wait to the halftime show.
Yeah,
That annoys the most diehard football fan. So,
And that,
Hey.
sir, is why. Or just like what Kev said, you could do it that way, or you could be like me. No casuals allowed, B. Yo, you had 18 weeks this year of being casual. No casuals around me. You the ops on Sunday, B. Don't hit my phone. Don't nothing. If you a casual, you out of here, man. Nah, we can't do that, man. But go ahead. That's a good one, though, Kev. I appreciate that.
man, you know what?
for sure.
Oh, on behalf of myself, we're gonna get that. On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator. In the absence of Daryl D. the Warren, Mike Mills, James, Eric Warren, the Angry One, and Dorian, the DA Albright. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Hey, we will see y'all next week. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Super Bowl Sunday. Go Bengals.
It should be a good one.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good one. Hey, you go to the grocery store, wings are high.
What you got?
If you go to the grocery store, wings are high.
Oh, shit. So everything hot now, boy. Just get popcorn.